Welcome to a series of short videos of the Geneva Water Hub on the topic of reshaping the approach to water cooperation for peace building. My name is Mara Tignino and I'm reader at the Faculty of Law and the Institute of Environmental Sciences at the University of Geneva and lead legal specialist at the Platform for International Water Law at the Geneva Water Hub. Today, we will ask to Mrs. Noémie Plumier from the World Youth Parliament for Water a question on the role of this institution in influencing water policies. Good morning, Noémie, and thanks for accepting our invitation.
Thank you. I'm very happy that you reach out to our network and very happy to represent it.
Thank you. So, Noémie, you have an extensive background on how the climate crisis is affecting the natural world, particularly from the perspective of water-related issues and gender inequalities, peace, biodiversity, migration, etc. With this experience, you are now a youth advisor at the World and Climate Coalition and a strategic partnership facilitator at the World Youth Parliament for Water, advocating for meaningful youth inclusion and participation in decision-making processes. Given this background, could you please share with us your perspective on how the World Youth Parliament influence organizations and decision makers on ensuring water as a driver for peace?
Sure, thank you. I will actually talk and focus more on our network rather than in my personal experience and view, which is in the end linked because as an individual, I'm representing also the network. So I'll start by telling you a little bit more about the World Youth Parliament for Water, which is a volunteer global youth network focused on advocacy and action with local, national, regional, and global presence. And we aim to contribute in accelerating the achievement of SDG 6 targets and other related water goals. So regarding peace and the role of youth, we often provide a safe, constructive, and neutral space where our young members from riparian countries, either downstream countries or upstream countries, with sometimes even disagreement or past animosity, can exchange and even collaborate together and sometimes end up create friendship. So that is for one of our, how can I say, not big of an, it has a big impact as a goal, but it's not necessarily visible. That's what I wanted to emphasize and talk about it. Also, our platform, in our platform, we have different profiles of members. We have engineers, researchers, advocates, students, and our young professionals are working in different fields: agriculture, water waste management, and either in urban or rural areas. So we are all the time having all those perspectives, transversal and transsectoral opinions that are mixing during our event, during our general assemblies, workshop, or meetings that we have. So that is also an important point, and we are all working for the same goal, a water secure world, right? So yeah, that would be the first point about our network. Should I continue?
Yes, please. Could you give us really an example on how the World Youth Parliament for Water influence the water agenda, and especially on how water can be an instrument for peace?
Sure. So being very practical, our voices need to be heard. And the World Youth Parliament for Water, it's a platform where our members can participate and meet decision makers and organizations. For example, at the World Water Forum, Every 3 years, we organize our General Assembly, which provide opportunity for a member to meet their government representative, exchange with them, build partnership, and build trust as well. And other conferences, we participated to the Dushanbe conference, and recently we were present at the Stockholm World Water Week. So yeah, and at the last World Water Forum in Dakar, we organized a workshop in the youth space, and at the final declaration, we advocated on more youth inclusion and participation of young people in river basins organization, especially in the African continent. So yeah, and on that regard, I can also recently add a progress from our network, which is promising. Because as you know, the World Youth Parliament for Water or any other youth doesn't have a youth body and a youth constituency in the Water Convention. I'm taking my note because it's a long name of the convention. In the Convention on the Protection and the Use of Transboundary Water Courses and International Lakes, apologize for that. We are indeed in the principle considered as a stakeholders, but we are not really a youth constituency that is invited to the high level decision-making processes, right? So recently at the World Water Week, I reached out to the Secretariat of the Water Convention, and I say that it will be interesting if we could address this challenge together and work and cooperate and build partnership. So members, not only from the World Youth Parliament for Water, but any water organization, young people from other water organizations, can better engage with river basins organization and riparian country representative. So that is something we're recently focusing on now.
Thank you. I remember also that you have participated at the Geneva Water Dialogue in preparation of the UN Water Conference 2023. So maybe could you give us some insights about your participation in this event and what are the key takeaways that you have from this event?
Absolutely. Yeah, I was invited as moderator of the high-level panel. And it was really insightful because for the first time, I feel like there was a space where the humanitarian world and actors and stakeholders could actually talk with more cooperation and development actors on focus on SDG 6. Of course, both of them are focusing on WASH, on making better access to clean water and sanitation for all. But I feel like it was a true moment where they could exchange on good practices and also the challenges they face and how maybe the continuation should be smoother, especially for stability and peace. So it was really it is promising, and I hope that from the humanitarian perspective, but also the development perspective, they will start to work more together. And of course, it would also allow the youth, not only youth, how can I say, like in stable countries, but also youth from refugee camps and migration to also collaborate and help each other, because it is still something we need to work on as well on our side, because obviously they have more than challenges to deal with when they're displaced, especially from war, internal conflict, and so on. But it doesn't mean that we cannot build as youth innovation and learn lessons, especially from those tough times of resilience that can be built on, and innovation that can be found from those people in those difficult times. So yeah, and an important point as well, sorry, was the gender focus. And I was part of a roundtable that we all agree that we need more women in water, women in diplomacy, women involved in as stakeholders and beneficiaries on the ground. And we need equity because, environmental climate are targeted and marginalized group such as youth, children, women, elderly, etc., and others, of course, especially disabled on the WASH journey is an important under topic really that we are not facing if we want to achieve the targets. And having this really roundtable was key because we are seeing that, of course, it's repeating everywhere, not only on development, but it's like this whole systemic change that needs to happen, and we all agree on. So yeah.
Thank you. I have just a last question. Could you explain us the linkages between the Youth Parliament for Water and the Blue Peace movement? Because this is really related also on the to the topic of water as a driver for peace.
Yes, sure. So the World Youth Parliament for Water has a working group especially dedicated on the Blue Peace Index. And I am not involved in this working group because I'm myself representative of the strategic partnership, and it's a tough one on its own to deal with. But yes, they are involved on the monitoring and contributing on their own countries in the Blue Peace Index, and advocating for blue peace, like water peace and water secure world. So of course it is the core, it's one of our core working group, and the one ahead of it, I don't know if it's too political to mention it, but he's a Palestinian gentleman. So it is also on the symbolic important for us.
So many thanks, Noémie, for sharing with us your experience. Good luck for the work in the next years.
Thank you. I would just like to have a last word, if you allow me. I just wanted to say that we truly believe that the climate crisis, the environmental crisis, will only be tackled if we all come strong together with youth participation, but again, with any other marginalized group working together for a better future, because that is the only way we're going to achieve and tackle this crisis, plural, with the biodiversity crisis as well. And because the end of it, the roots is that it's a social crisis. And we will work all together. You can reach out to the World Youth Parliament for Water. And we are here with very capable young people and young person that you can trust, young women as well. So please reach out to us.
Thank you. We will do for sure. Bye. Bye.